It's time for a little TOL action. Week 10, I think. Yes, Week 10 indeed. Regular season, Week 10. Flying high. You just saw their leader, Willie Nelson, coming back. 3 buds in hand, going up against the Logs. And I'm not even sure where both of these bastards rank in the power rankings. I'm certainly not going to do any research for something I'm not getting paid for. Even when I am getting paid, I'm barely doing any research. All right, so Maple is going to fire it off to Jackson. Jackson with a little bump and run. Got some green. Looks like he really wants to go. Speaking of green, there's green all over my fucking screen. A little hard to see what's going on here. So there is the feed to Doyle. Oh, a little too much dancing. He had an easy first, but still picked up 8. Tough to complain about that. Here comes a man in motion, but they're all on it. And Doyle does everything he can to only lose 2. Here's a double back set for Walk. And they're going to go with that first play. Should be a first down if he doesn't do too much dancing. He does dance too much, but not in that way that I meant it, in the way that you thought I did. So he still gets the first. Then all of a sudden a big sack from Panda Express, and suddenly they're behind the chains, 2nd and 17. Here comes Walk. He's got time. He may feel a little bit of pressure. Is he going to run? He is. He's not super speedy. Is able to hit the outside, pick up most of the sack loss yardage. Now we got a man in motion. They got a called play on this one, and Panda Express 2 sacks in the first 2 minutes of the game. And he is thumping his chest and stomping around and feeling like a man, and I'll take some General So's. Now Jones fires it down with that foot. And it's a perfect kick to the 6-inch yard. Why he didn't fair catch, nobody knows. Everybody knows you let it bounce and go in the end zone. But instead, he gets tackled at the 7 like a fool. Nelson wants to go. There's a man on his feet. Oh, they try to get up. That's got to be 2. Oh, he could have picked, but the jumping man distracted him. 2nd and 10. Called play. This is dangerous. They fire it off. And actually, offense had to turn into defense there. He dove to knock it away. 3rd and 10. They try that same play. A lot of pressure, and the man gets... Did you see that? What effort. He was down on the ground, and he's able to levitate up. Some say in a way that he's possessed. He levitates up and knocks that ball down. And that's twice we've had people at the feet of Nelson, but Nelson is so high, I believe the air around him levitates up. Jackson decided to do the dodgeball, put the blindfold on, and return the punt, and it did not pay off. Speaking of called play, pure OG gets in on the sack. 2nd and 22. This has been an action-packed first quarter despite no score. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to try to run. Oh, no, he does a great step up in the pocket, but then he leads the man a yard outside. Foot was on the line. Bring it back. Here they try the T-cross, and he's got to make a lot of moves. Just gets a couple of yards in the field position battle, and it is punt time again. Let's see if he can put it on the 1-inch line. I don't think he does. He even gets popped in the process, so he just gets it inside the 20, but Diesel's already outside the 20. Diesel with a nice return this time, really making people move, making people miss. There's a blocker. He's got a chaser, and he's not going to get that famed TD, but he's going to bring him down inside the red zone. No, you are not dreaming. You are not high. You actually are there inside the red zone, and then it's a perfect lead. Defense was confused, left all sorts of people open. Clearly a contact buzz for some of the defensive players is beginning to set in, and Willie Nelson finds his man. He, of course, is used to playing stone, so the way you learn is the way you should practice, and then the way you should test. So Maple Leaf fires it down. Jackson stands at his 4. He's got some speed, tries to hit the outside, does, and that's worth another 10 yards, gets it out to the 30. Offset formation for Walk. It's going to pitch down. Doyle trying to make his own hole. Gets 2 yards. I think he would have been better following his blockers there. Here comes the throw. This play rarely works. Double covered, knocked down. Double back set. There's a man at his feet. It freaks him out a little bit, but it's enough. He's going to find where he needs to go. Still running. Oh, I thought maybe he'd be able to... Look at that. He gets all the divers. 30, 20, 10. Will he make it? He does. Walks, strides in on the QB sneak with a lot of moves. Not the greatest top speed, but it did not matter. That is a TD strike and score right there. Girl kick comes in. I think she's going to doink it in. And that was big to tie the game. 7-7 from the girl. Shitty little kick there. She's already tired. Only gets it to the 19. Let's see what Diesel can do if he can have another magical return. Not that time. Does get out to the 35. 4 wide for Willie. But he's going to plunge, try to fool him. Willie's moving reasonably quick. Picks up 5 on that play. Pretty much all you can ask, except for the very occasional breakout. Going no back. They do cover the deep man. He's going to have a dump off. He's going to find the dump off. Oh, but the DBs played it perfectly. They both came in from either side. Ended up being double covered. They try again. It was worth 5, but only worth 1 that time. Painful. And so it will be a punt. One of the negatives of playing high is sometimes you make some foolish play calls. That was one of them. Here comes Jackson. At least he's got 1 blocker. He took the blindfold off this time, and he's doing a lot better because he will not be able to see with that blindfold on, Cotton. All right, now it's 4 wide for Walk. Let's see what he wants to do. He's got a lot of pressure, forced to fire it early. Looks into heavy coverage. But the clumsy hands of the DB, that's why he's not a receiver. Got a chance, but the DB moved down, and there is the INT. You smelled one coming. They dropped it on the play before. Walk, careless with the ball, coughs it up. Gets some good blocking, and Nelson only able to get 4. Initially looked like he was going to hit more. He tries it again because they like that blocking scheme. Nelson takes a different angle, picks up 4. Big 3rd and 2. Will they plunge up the middle? They will, but there's a nice hole there, and he picks up 4. Now they switch, double back set. Still plunging up the middle. Picks up 4. Everybody goes in motion. They've got him fooled this time. Oh, he throws it to the wrong person, but the high jump, they're able to get underneath it. Snoop Dogg, who's recently given up smoke, if you've heard. Snoop Dogg leaps up there as if floating on a gentle cloud. The hand of God basically raised Snoop up and said, I anoint thee, ambassador of weed. Go forth and spread the message. And with a massive jump, everybody thought it was an overthrow. Snoop gives him the lead. Here comes Jackson. Got a couple people chasing him. Hits that outside. Fights off. Works hard to get up to the 30. Went completely cross field that time. When you see the motion, this is the play they're looking for. Doily, a lot of dancing, but it's going to work out well this time. Does he get 2 divers? Gets 1 and brings it down to the 29. Plenty of time left, not even a consideration. Now they go T-cross. Doily hurls a guy, makes a couple of moves, gets to the 10 inside the red zone. They will be able to get a first down by an inch. I'd like to actually see that happen. Doily met in the backfield. His lineman, slow to get up, loses a yard. Will they try the same play? They do. This time Doily wisely follows his blockers, hurls a couple of guys. 3rd and 3. Not a called play, but everybody's there. 4th and 2. What are they going to do? They decide to be conservative. Despite a good run game, they wait a little bit to get that kickoff, but no one's there. 1 pixel away from being in the screen. And girl kicker is able to manage the extra point. Distance field goal. Again, terrible kick. She's already fatigued from that field goal. She needs a lot of rest in between. Only gets it to the 19, 11-yard return. What's Nelson going to do? Called play, and he's just going to see it coming in, and Tony Tamarak gets the sack. Line hold. He's got his man up the middle, but he just throws it to nobody. Sometimes those voices, when they talk to you, they tell you to do some odd things. One of the linemen was going to break through, and it looked like maybe he'd find something, so there will be a little bit of timeout. Very nice for them to call that timeout before they punt. Always, that's that friendly aspect of the game there. So he fires it deep to Jackson. Let's see if Jackson has the blindfold on. He's at the 5. Got one man lined up. No, he's going to take that outside run. Can he cut down? Oh, he cut the wrong way. So 49 seconds to go, about 49 yards to get in field goal range. It's a run. Doyley going to make a couple moves. He needed to hit that outside one more time. Chewed up a lot of clock there, but picked up the first. What are they going to do? Same play. They are. He's got a decent amount of green. Needs to just hit that stride. Does. Gets a diver. Now in field goal range, and they should trot out the field goal. They are able to get it out. I would have called a timeout just to be sure. And he shanks it wide right. All that effort to not even get close. And that's painful. So the Logs down by 4, flying high, continues to at mediocrely middle and milge, and there's some fucking word that I'm trying to think of that isn't fly, that isn't soar, whatever. All right, girl kick, had a little bit of rest there, so she's able to fire it up over halftime. Diesel down to the 26. Had one brilliant return. Will we see another? Big called play. He's going to fire it off, and it's actually going to be complete for a 12-yard pickup. A few things more annoying than the called play that results in a first down. Here's some pressure. Decent blocking for Nelson, but he's chopped down. Huge open field tackle. Limits the gain to 5. They go right back at him. He is running into the near side, and they are ready. We'll take that 5 and move away 6. Line holds it. He's got a man open up top. He's going to fire it to the dog. Oh, but that's there. That time the slow passing speed enabled the DB to read his eyes and get up there. No jump for glory, and so they're forced to punt. Cocaine fires it. Pretty nice kick at the 10. Jackson's not in the right line, and he gets 11. Out to the 21. Let's see what the Logs can do. They had a nice drive that was destroyed by the crappy field goal. Here comes Doyley. A couple guys burst in, but it doesn't matter. Then they get anxious and dive. And then finally they needed a shoestring tackle, but not after a 23-yard pickup. Here comes the motion. Can they continue to run? No, this is dangerous, especially when you fire it right there. Right into the defender. Tried to force it in. Watt has made some poor decisions, despite his one good run play. Been good on his feet, terrible in the air. Nelson knocked down, 2nd and 10. Plunging up the middle, fair amount of green, tries to hit the outside, picks up 5. Big third down here. They're just in field goal range. They want to stay that way, but they lose even on the cautious play, and it does result in a punt. I think I would have gone for it there. Either field goal or go for it. So he clocks it too deep this time to Jackson. So it'll be a touchback. Let's see what they can do. Can they ride Doyley, or will Watt fuck it up for him? Here comes Doyley. Got a man to beat. Gets 3 yards. Not what you're hoping for in that play. And now we see Watt in the shotgun. Called play. He's going to fire it. Probably lucky that was knocked down. 3rd and 7. Can they run? The man goes in motion. They do run, but the defense sniffs it out. And nothing doing there. A shitty 3 and out. Shitty little putt, too. The Diesel will field it at the 33. And nice open field tackle there. Gets out to about the 44. He's got a man down low. And, oh, we needed to lead him just 2 more yards to the outside. Got a man up the middle. Caught by Crush. 15-yard gain. Oh, caught under coverage and then double diver. TD. Is that the dagger to the heart for the Logs? Important extra point. Right down the middle. So an 11-point, 2-touchdown lead with 6 Tecmo minutes left. Do the Logs have it in them to come back? And Jackson had the blindfold on that time. Should not have trusted Patches in his advice to do that. A lot of pressure. Quick strike fire up. They get it to McGee, who's got some speed. Gets it out. 5-yard pickup. The pitch. Decides to find his own hole. Foolishly. Stick to the fucking playpen. Throwing on play. Nothing doing here. Is he going to scramble? Oh, he actually put it right the one spot where he needed to. Fooled the defense, fooled me. He thought he was going to scramble, and then fired up to this tight little pocket. This is your ticket to success. Would have continued to go the outside, but 8 yards. 8 yards every time will work. Follow the fucking line here. He does. Gets a couple blockers. Fights off a guy and picks up a nice gain. That's what you're supposed to do. Now we're in the gun. Anytime Walk's throwing, we're holding our breath. Does find Doyley. That's the man you want to hit. He should have hit the outside, but still 15 yards. Certainly happy with that output. They're throwing again. Are they going to go to the well once too often? He throws it at the man's foot. Again in the gun. Looks like he's going to try to run, but everybody steps up. He needs a blocking help. Doesn't get it. Liquid Butter gets credit for the sack. Double back set. Decent play call, but they read it brilliantly. 4th and 13. What are they going to do? I don't know if I like this call. The field goal is essentially useless. Again, it's not a very good kick. There's people there. They block it. They need somebody to pick it up. Somebody fast, and it is not. Maple is slow as shit, and so it does nothing. Called play. Well, they need about 2 more of those. Not much pressure, but they cover it. Cannot get the pick, though. They're going to need a turnover to have any chance. Going no back. A lot of pressure. And he tried to throw. It was a pretty good throw. But could not thread the needle. They'll be forced to punt. Really need a blocked punt here. We've seen no chance of that. Let's see what Jackson can do. He's got a horde of green, drugged up guys chasing him down. And he just gets destroyed. And then he fumbles into the horde of green. And then the guy goes invisible, almost unfairly. Look at that. And I mean, was I taking drugs? Did we all see the same thing there? The guy fucking can't move. He's going to dump it off to the first guy. Touchdown, actually second, but whatever. So laughing Buddha. And they didn't need to, but now they just put the dagger in and beginning to twist. And the Logs feeling the axe against the trunk. And all that's left to say is timber. Jackson out to the 15. motion. We're going to see a pick. Now we're going to see a called play. Doily swallowed up, loss of 3. We really need a running clock here. Put everybody out of their misery. He's going to fire it to McGee. Does get a nice jump. Gets a diver. Out to the 40, one of their best pass plays. Needed some more of that earlier in the game. Walk is destroyed by Milfweed. Wouldn't mind giving a Milf some weed and then having a little fun with her. Covered up the middle. Who's he going to fire it to? Leon gets the jump. Can they at least score for a little bit of pride? Called play. He's going to get destroyed. Panda Express. We heard from him a lot in the beginning. Here comes some motion. Will this be a pick? You're going to fire it in there. What says San Julian? Sajulan. First time we've called that name. Does have his open man. Throws it to the wrong guy, but Doily has burst in and does at least pad a little bit of stats. Something to feel good about. Doily gets the TD. So 1 second left. Of course, they go for the onside. Shitty onside. Takes a good bounce. And the Logs do get it. If they can just figure out how to score 14 points in 1 second, it'll be great. They decide not to cover anybody. A little surprising. But then Walk gets a sack anyway. So there it is. Flying high. Nice and steady. Continues to fly.